Welcome to the special episode on emerging technologies and their transformative potential in education and educational leadership. As you already know, throughout this whole entire semester with Dr. Ramirez, I am your host, Keisha Dunnom, and today we'll dive into 3 groundbreaking technologies that are reshaping the way we teach, the way we learn, and also the way we lead. That's artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and of course, blockchain. So, what does all this mean, Keisha? Let's just go ahead and begin with artificial intelligence. And to be quite honest with you, we all know artificial intelligence abbreviation is AI. So AI is already having a significant impact in education by personalizing learning experiences for all students. Get that? That is pretty much all students. We are leaving no children behind. I remember that was like a slogan here in Florida. I don't know if that's still a thing, but that's exactly what we're doing. And it's basically adaptive learning platforms. Maybe you guys heard of it, like Kami's Learning or Dreambox. Use of AI algorithms to adjust content based on individual student performances. This means students can learn at their own pace. Yes, you've got that right. Students can learn at their own pace and receive targeted support when they need it most. And for me, I feel like it's great because it cut out all the fat and get right to the meat. I'm getting actually hungry now. But for educational leaders, AI also supports data-driven decision making. So it enables schools and administrators to identify learning gaps, track students' performance trends, and allocate resources that are most effective. Now, let's slow this down. There comes a time in our educational field where we have students, right? And our goal is to raise the bar, right? How can we do that? We provide tests as soon as they come in and try to figure out their learning gains. What makes the student grow? How can we be of service to each student so that they are becoming their best selves in the classrooms? I know basically teaching years ago and that the students would come into the classroom and then we would give a test. And then we would have a middle test and an ending test. And we would see at the end of the year how they have done. Now, I want to say that AI has made it so much better because, again, it literally supports data-driven decision making. And so it'll notify everyone in the building of the learning gaps right then and there. And it'll track every performance. And I feel like it gives us a microscope into what really needs to be done for each individual student. Because, you know, like when you go buy a bathing suit, it says one size fit all. One size should not fit all because we are unique in our own different ways. Please don't tussle with me with that. But that is what I feel and how I feel. However, ethical concern companies, AI growing presence, which means that privacy is also a major issue, especially with AI. Now, this is an off-branded topic, but it is so right on. But there was an app. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but it was called the T app. And this app was basically, it's adult friendly, and we're all adults here. It was basically to catch people who aren't doing right by their partners, right? I heard about this app, and being in this classroom, I am so weary of just downloading any app. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not going to do it. But all the information. It was mostly women in that group, of course, because we love the tea, right? All of their information was leaked. We're talking about birthdays. We're talking about passport, driver's license, their faces. And they were all exposed, trying to expose someone else. And that makes me weary because some of the system, they'll collect the data and they will breach it. And as far as school goes, leaders must ensure transparency. Okay. They must have strict data protection policies. According to Cope and Searsmith, educators need to shift from seeing AI not really so much as a threat to viewing it as a collaborator, but, more so making it inclusive and make it like a learning environment. Okay. So let's talk about the virtual reality. Okay. Virtual reality, the abbreviations are VR. Okay. And virtual reality is basically students in stimulated areas where they can explore history. They can conduct science experiments or even travel the world without ever leaving the classroom. Tools like Google. I love Google. Google Expeditions and Class VR are used to make abstract concepts tangible and definitely enhance students' engagements. For school leaders, this opened doors to experimental learning and deeper engagement across subjects. Ethical VR raises concerns, of course, about equitable access. Schools is undeserved areas may not have the resources to implement VR, which means that it'll potentially widen the digital divide. Educational leaders must advocate for funding and equitable implementation to ensure all students benefit from immersed technology. And so we're getting to the meat of everything. Finally, let's just go ahead and jump right into blockchain. Okay. Often associated with cryptocurrency, blockchain technology has powerful implications for education. It can be used to securely store academic credentials, creating a permanent and verifiable record of student achievements. And this reduces fraud and simplifies the transfer of transcripts between institutions. Now, I want you guys to know that blockchain also has the potential to decentralize learning by allowing students to earn micro-credentials or badges from multiple learning sources. Educational leaders can use this to rethink how students progress and competencies are measured. You know what I'm saying? Making learning more flexible and more student-centered. So yeah, of course, ethical considerations are important here too, but data ownership and access must be carefully managed to ensure each student retain control over their academic records. So in conclusion, artificial intelligence, AI, virtual reality, VR, and blockchain each offer unique opportunities to revolutionize education. They enhance learning experiences, enable smarter leadership decision, and foster innovation. But they must be implemented. They have to be implemented with ethical consideration and equity at the forefront. Thanks for tuning in today's episode. For more insights, be sure to check me out on the lecture materials and a TED Talk linked in our course. Until next time, we're going to keep learning and growing with Dr. Ramirez. See you later. Bye.